Burnt Hands Podcast. We are live right now with the one and only.
The one and only.
Standing. A local legend, if you will, right?
She is.
Female entrepreneur. Killing it. Killing the game.
Trying.
Yeah. So before we even get any further, I want to go right into what's in our cup right here because this is the most important part of the conversation today.
Today is all about the alcohol.
Why don't you bring it up? Tell us what we're drinking.
We are drinking Waterman Spirits. It's actually Virginia's only organic spirit. And what I did was take the base vodka that we make and add 400 pounds of strawberries. So I grew up in Pungo, and I love strawberries. So this was like the first kind of...
So this is a tribute to where you came from and we're indigenous to our area. For all those who don't know who are watching this, Virginia Beach has got, we just have a bunch of indigenous ingredients, whether it be from the ocean or wherever it may be from. Pungo is an area down kind of in the country on your way down to the eastern shore or eastern side of North Carolina, things like that. Not eastern shore, I'm sorry. The eastern shoreline of Virginia, okay? So there's a lot of things that come from there. One of them is freaking strawberries.
Strawberries.
They have a, you have to have a whole
Fields.
Right, in the Pungo Strawberry Festival, right? And so anyway, these strawberries are delicious. They're great, and that's where you're from. So you come up farmland, right? You come from a farm.
cornfields, cows, and all the fun stuff.
Did you have the horses and all that stuff?
I did not. I had chickens and turkeys.
Chickens and turkeys.
My mom would not let me have a horse because I would not feed the dog for 1 year without complaining about it.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
horse, and you know now the
those
horses
things
are 10
they get
times
tired.
more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
she's like, nope, no horses for you.
So you're speaking about spirits, which we'll get into later, but this right here is an infusion of a natural. This is all organic, all natural. And you said to me earlier today, there's no shit in it.
No shit in it.
So what does that mean? You have your vodka, which you distill.
Yep.
Beautifully.
Yep.
We carry it here. So you distill your vodka. The non-shit you put in it is the strawberry. Pretty much that's it.
That's
Right, so
it.
the color, so a lot of products have questionable dyes and all that stuff in it, but the color from this comes from the actual berries itself.
Yeah.
So there's no red dye and
So there's a maceration process to get to extract that color out. So your spirit is the vodka is it macerating with that, or is it extracted before and then added?
The vodka is made, the berries are put into the vodka, and after it sits and gets the perfect color and flavor, then it's proofed properly so that it's like exactly what it should be proofed at, and put in the bottle.
And then you're strained and all that stuff. And cool.
Yeah, I just had the conversation with her GM about this, and when he told us it was 400 pounds of strawberries per batch, and that's like the good strawberries. So you have to go through,
That's
pick
a lot
the
of
fruit. That's a lot of strawberries.
Stems and
Right. So it's almost like it's a no, it's not. But you know the point we're having this is there's so many fucking companies out there that will throw artificial flavor in there and call it their infused vodka. And it just drives me nuts.
This is real infused vodka.
It's really important to talk about this process because in the wine world, or anytime you add, even in the cooking world, the maceration process, that's some of the time when your fruits and your skins and everything are in contact with the juice you're trying to extract from it. That's your maceration process. So that's where you get your colors, your flavors, and all your sugars and everything, right?
Yeah.
Most people want to skip that step. And they're going to go buy a syrup that's already either fake, artificially made, or already extracted, and they're just going to use it for time's sake and everything else. Yeah. They're just going to add the syrup to their damn drink and sell it, and everyone loves it, and it becomes some 7-Eleven ghetto juice, I call it.
It's like like that Slurpee taste.
Right, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's stuff we used to drink when we were 18, just getting pounding it. Like the Boone's Farm, and that's all artificial stuff.
dog.
We all.
But you know what I mean? This is not what this is.
In the cornfield, though.
So yeah, right.
True.
Oh, yeah.
True. It did go well with that because I was on that train too.
So when you're drinking Waterman's vodka.
Waterman. We have to call it
Waterman. I'm sorry. Waterman. Sorry.
That's
And I'll tell you why I'm calling it Waterman's in a minute, okay? Where I come from and probably why we have to do that. So we're going to explain that. Right. I already know why. However, when we're drinking Waterman vodka, you're drinking a high-end vodka. You could drink this straight right up. It's it's in the upper tier. This is not a crap vodka. It's very, very, just their distillery alone is absolutely beautiful. It's clean. I recommend everyone go there and see what an actual vodka distillery looks like, a real one.
And you can go there and actually drink, and it has a full bar, and you have a tasting room.
This podcast brought to you by Waterman Spirits. Virginia Beach's own fine vodka.
Little
Come
does she
find
know,
us now.
she's now sponsoring the podcast.
I love
FYI.
Cheers.
Cheers to cheers to bringing us alcohol, because this is what happens. But your journey in this, and this is why, I mean, we knew each other, but didn't through all of your coming up in the restaurant industry. And for a woman to be able to go through the steps you went through and now we can lead into the restaurant, the tasting room, the spirits world. You kind of diversified, but where did you start? In the restaurant business, where was your first?
Bussing tables.
Okay. Where, here?
At Waterman's.
Really?
So when I first got into I met my husband, and I had never worked in the restaurant before until I met him.
Okay.
So I started as being the girlfriend.
Right.
And then soon after, it was 6 months, then it was the fiance.
Sure. That's a good girlfriend.
You moved up quick.
Really easy.
That's a good girlfriend.
He's so easy.
Yeah. So then now we're back there. So you said you started at Waterman. So that's where we got the difference in why you have to call one the other one. Is that not to confuse? Is that branding? What is that?
Well, there's a few things. So when I grew up in Pungo, my father had a beautiful garden. He was a commercial fisherman. I would fish at Munnins Point with a cane pole. We had very humble upbringing. So I feel like being a waterman is part of my soul and my, from my childhood to now. And then I met my waterman, Mike. And then the restaurant was obviously,
and he's a true sport waterman. He's out fishing all the time. He lives on the water. Your restaurant, Waterman's, surfing. Your kids are in the water all the time. So in the restaurant itself is literally on the beach in Virginia Beach, in the most prime location of water sports and Virginia Beach lifestyle. Virginia Beach has its own culture, and Virginia Beach's culture to me is a modge podge of all kinds of. Is that the right word? Hodgepodge? So it's got stuff. It's got a California vibe. It's got a surf vibe. It's got a fishing vibe. It's got a Northeast scalloping lobster boat vibe. It's got all the Waterman sports.
It's a melting pot.
Right. It's a melting pot of all water. It doesn't have its own, if you go to Maine, the water stuff is pretty much lobster. You go to scallops, you go you go get clams and stuff in Rhode Island, Massachusetts. If you go out to California, you surf. You know what I mean? Yes. Here we have pretty much all of it.
We really have everything. The Chesapeake Bay brings us so much seafood that
right. So Waterman, right?
It's really our community. So I feel like that's my heart and soul. It was a little play or a big play on the success of the restaurant, but it's really just the ethos of my spirit and our community.
It's all encompassing. So when you are a waterman or you live that lifestyle, of course the words are always going to come out. It's like me saying I have an Italian restaurant, I'm Italian this, Italian that, because no matter what I do, it kind of revolves around it, just like that. So going back to people know this area, know Waterman's, the restaurant. It's a legacy here, is really. Now let's talk about this friggin' Orange Crush situation.
So
look at her laughing. So we're talking about a festival,
yes,
right? That would get all you got out of it was wasted.
Drinks.
Wasted. Did you guys?
Soon.
It's coming. Bringing it back.
It's back.
It's back. Waterman's is back with
Waterman's
the friggin' CrushFest, y'all.
CrushFest.
And we are going to be there podcasting.
We should. We can do that.
We're setting up.
Do that for
We're
sure.
setting up.
I feel like I'm 27 again.
It takes you back.
So
my question.
The Orange Crush, though.
Let's talk about the Crush. You're right. Go ahead and ask.
This is the thing. Is I've been to other states now, and now that it's gone national, there's always an origin story. So tell us the origin story.
So our origin story goes back to a boat. So really, the Crush, I feel like, came from Ocean City, Maryland. Mm-hmm. I will give all the credit to them. And I actually think there's a gentleman, I cannot remember his name, but I call him King Crush. And he owns this restaurant in Ocean City on the water called Harborside.
Crushing it.
Yeah. And we went there and met with him. Mike sold a boat to a friend named Jimmy Grant, and he's from Ocean City. Yeah. He sat at Waterman's restaurant waiting on Mike to sign some paperwork, and he ordered an Orange Crush. Well, at that time, we made the Orange Crush out of the gun juice. It was the most disgusting thing.
Basically, a screwdriver.
What everybody did,
Exactly.
Screwdriver on crushed ice, right?
Exactly. And I don't even know if it was crushed ice. It was probably
regular ice still, yeah.
And Jimmy goes, "What the heck is this? This is not an Orange Crush."
Jimmy.
He's like, "You've got to come with me to Ocean City." And so that is basically what transformed that trip for Mike and I and Jimmy Grant to go to Ocean City. And then we came back to Virginia Beach and changed the way that we made it. We modified King Crush's recipe, but it was incredible.
So you got your
Ice.
right. So
Virginia Beach now has a flavor.
and they were calling it an Orange Crush then at that time too.
Yeah.
So the name came down here. You guys revamped it, revitalized it, and some people around here don't realize that story. So a lot of people around here think it kind of came from you.
That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
What I coined was, what did I say? Waterman's or Virginia's original crush house.
Sure.
So I feel like
It's true. There's no lie.
You guys were the first ones doing the fresh pressed because that's the key ingredient. So crushed ice, fresh pressed juice.
So I was talking to her, and I was not that you're not here, but I was talking to her last year, 2 years ago. We were talking about this, and you were telling me the numbers of what you guys were doing, and this all goes to a charity. This was a charitable event at the time,
CrushFest,
CrushFest,
yeah.
right? So CrushFest was a charitable thing, and I was like, "What? That charity needs to come on with this way a little bit." But it worked out amazing. But how much pounds of oranges? How much vodka? What the hell was going on?
And I say we because this is when I was in the restaurant business and working as a whole partnership. We bought a tractor trailer. We got a delivery from ABC in Richmond, directly from ABC to the restaurant of alcohol. Then there was a tractor trailer that was filled with oranges. There's
A whole tractor trailer.
oranges in one case. So you do the math.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It was
did you go through all of it?
And it was all fresh. Mike invented this thing called an OctoCrush. So he stayed up at night.
Of course he did.
I mean,
The OctoCrush.
It's an OctoCrush.
right?
The
So you
OctoCrush.
octopus.
Oh my
and
gosh.
you have this one unit of a machine that's cutting oranges, and then it's dispensing the orange juice to these other people that were making crushes.
Because they just can't crush each time. It's too much. It's too much, right? They got Popeye arms.
You got to switch arms.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be a switch hitter.
Yeah.
And 11,000 people were able to be served fresh crushes.
Oh my gosh. So the
11,000
OctoCrush.
people. That's more people there's more people there in your parking lot, which is the size of this room.
Yeah.
Then there's 11,000 people. That's the amount. For those who don't know,
Cramming
think
in.
about going to a college football game. Right?
So
That's
it's like a smaller college.
smaller, right? Or that's a lot still. Smaller
Still a
college
lot of
football
people.
team. You know, that's a lot of people. 11,000 people.
11,000 people.
There's 11,000 people. I don't know if there's that many people in my zip code. That's a lot of people. You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying?
big.
It was incredible. That's when the city
so cool.
told us like 3-4 days before CrushFest was supposed to happen at Waterman's restaurant that we couldn't do it there because there was going to be too many people. So we moved it to the campground. Best decision ever.
And that's where it's going this time?
No, this time it's in the Shack parking lot.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
Oh,
Perfect.
so
So now you got it. Good. So the shack. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That-
So
now that
let's
comes-
keep building on the empire here.
Right. So the Waterman's restaurant was big. Then came Chick's. Chick's was great. Still is. Great place to go in the summertime, except for I can never get a damn seat. So I don't go there anymore because I just can't freaking get in. So on my days off, I'm like, all right, I need to go have a crab cake. I like getting crab cakes and stuff like that. So the food that you guys have is very well reflecting of Virginia Beach and what we do here. You have the seared tunas, the crab cakes,
Classic seafood.
the mahi. You have all that type of stuff. So you're off the fish. You know, you guys do it right, and you pretty much not only do it right, but you guys exemplify what Virginia Beach seafood is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, what type of seafood's here? What type of seafood's there? Virginia Beach has its own type of.
There's a, yeah, and it is good. Well, and the French fries with the crab meat on top. Oh my God, I love those.
They're smothered. Look, she's excited about her own dish. I love it.
They're so gluttonous, but they're so
gluttonous.
fucking
The
good.
cheese sticks are my
Yeah.
my
Oh, those are good.
There's
yeah,
like
yeah. You brought
so
me a
many
little cup with
things.
those one time. Come on, man.
I know, but you've turned like it's almost like putting that spin on things we loved as kids. Like even the Orange Crush, like it's something like, you know, we liked, you know, if you had the grandma who made you fresh pressed juice in the morning, it kind of brings back memories. So you have foods based on like really key memories. Yeah.
So me and
Yeah.
me and a friend of mine went down there, and we were just going to run an errand down at the beach. I actually stopped in to say hi to you. You weren't there, so I sat at the bar outside in the shack, and this was a month or two ago. This was in the winter, and homeboy was out there, just gave me a couple, and it was very good. And next thing I know, we just skipped our meetings, and an hour and a half, 2 hours later,
Oops.
I'm day buzzed. I'm day buzzed
Happens a lot at your place.
and happy, and I had to come back to work, and I was like,
Well, I think it's just cool to see it spread. Like I said, when we kind of started this, you know, I travel a lot in other cities and we go to a lot of restaurants and food places. And now I see an Orange Crush on their menu. And this is like Midwest where shit takes forever to get there. And I see it, and whoever I'm with, if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is in Virginia Beach.
It's like a plague, though,
so
because
cool.
you think about how many. Our area is full of all kinds of transient people, whether it be the military, which is huge. They see something and grab something. Now they've been stationed here for 4 years, drinking these crushes. They go out back to their home in Nebraska, or wherever they're from, and they just take their crush. And this is called a crush. It's in Virginia Beach. And now next thing you know, they're serving it. And this is how these things start spreading.
Yeah.
So you guys have created something out of Ocean City that came to here and has blown up. Now, the place that Ocean City had, is it still in going?
Still in business.
So they're still going there. So that's a great thing. So
That's cool.
how did that now, you have a lot of shoes to fill, because not a lot of shoes to fill, but there's a lot of people that rely on you and Mike and your family and what it is you do here in Virginia Beach. There is a pressure to that because you have Chicks, you have the Shack. Now you're reopening CrushFest. You're reopening CrushFest from what I would imagine, with all the other stuff aside, me being me, because of you feel a little bit of obligation to that, and you want to reclaim what you started, and you want to bring it back. And I think that you owe that.
Fun.
You need fun, and that's what that was.
You have to do CrushFest again. We can't
Not do
this
it.
just because we're getting older. Like,
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm not getting older.
Damn it.
I'm doing CrushFest.
You're getting better.
We're doing CrushFest, damn it. CrushFest. It's like the Catalina wine mixer, except for it's CrushFest.
Almost to the point of being able to drink legally, and I think
Oh
it's
my
really
gosh.
fun. I want them to experience.
Well,
what I
right.
experienced.
And if you're doing it now, by the time they're ready, they're going to carry it on. CrushFest lives. We all win. CrushFest
Yes.
for the fucking win.
Woo! CrushFest.
saying.
It's coming. All right. Well, we'll be
So,
there for that.
We
When
will
is
be.
it? Sunday. I think it's April 5th. Is that a
Okay.
Sunday?
Well, we got to put this out before April 5th.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That just bumped her up the timeline real quick.
Not only that, but we should,
I'll
because
get bumped up on the production schedule.
yep, and sponsor a show.
And sponsor a show. So guess what? We just made all sorts of side deals in this whole conversation.
No, but that works out great. So this is going to go out to a lot of people, and then we would like to be there with our stuff so we can show everybody what CrushFest really is, what it really means on an impact. Yes, it's alcohol. Yes, I'm sure there's a million other things that could be impactful. However, what this does to our community here is it brings everyone together. It makes Virginia Beach what it is. It is a scene. Sorry, folks. It is a party town. We do live on the beach. We do like to get buzzed. We like to ride our beach cruisers. We like to go surfing. We like to hang around. We like to fuck off. So come do it all with us in one day on the Sabbath.
If it's ugly, let's have a cocktail. If it's snowing, let's have a cocktail.
Let's have a
That's right.
cocktail.
Let's have a cocktail.
Let's
Right.
have, the hurricane
Exactly.
party is drink everything that's cold first and then move on to the red wine last. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's pretty
Always
much
find a reason to have a good time.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
a great area. And I think you coming up in it, and again, like I said, we don't get a lot of female presence because kitchen-wise, you just don't see as much of it in the industry. So, I mean, you've been in it now for, how many years is this?
So 23 years.
Okay.
So 24 years. So Mike and I will be 23 years married in April.
So that's 23 years of restaurant and bar experience.
yeah,
and you didn't,
decades.
and that's 23 years of not the marriage part of it, but that's 23 years of a life you probably
Business.
didn't expect.
No,
You didn't expect to be a restaurateur or vodka or anything like that. So that's pretty interesting because a lot of people fall into it by accident.
Right.
And they make the best of it. And then you have some people that work their ass off to be into it and just can't fit into it because they can't get through the work mode. And a lot of our podcasts end up being on that. It's such a hot topic. How much people want for less. People
They're
want to
not
come in
willing
and
to do
work.
the work.
They don't want to put in the value of what they really are. They think they're overvalued. They overvalue themselves all the fucking time and don't realize it just comes down to work, dude. If you're not willing to do the same work that I did to be where I am, we're never going to be on the same page. And it's not a comparison. It's an understanding,
There's a different level of grind that is in somebody's soul that is an entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur or that is passionate about their product or what they're serving. I don't know. I don't think that can be taught. I think it's in their
Inherent.
soul.
Yeah.
People say to me all the time, I want to be like you. And I say, well, you know something? That's funny you say that because sometimes I want to be like you.
Right.
I want to wake up and not give a shit.
Me?
I want to wake up and not have to do a fucking thing. I want to wake up. I want to wake up and be 5 minutes of work.
Not care.
I want to show up to, I want to show up to work 20 minutes late, not give a fuck.
And not have anxiety.
I want to bitch a little bit about having to be, I want to be you. So you think you want to be me? No, you don't.
Go ahead. Try.
Give me a week of
Yeah.
your life. I would love to get the fuck up and just say, oh my God, fuck everything. I don't care. We don't have that luxury.
No,
Being
and
an
I-
entrepreneur
yeah.
does not have that luxury. We have to get from one step to the next, to the next, to the next. And people don't understand that. Eventually they will. The younger people hopefully will at some point in time.
I have a lot of hope for this new generation because I think that my contemporaries had it kind of easy. There was not a lot of hardship, but the kids that went through COVID and saw what went through COVID, and now their lives have changed a little bit. I think they are going to be more grinders. They're going to stand up for what they believe in more. I think I'm
Younger.
hopeful.
Yeah.
I think the Gen X kids, parents,
Yeah.
Us.
our kids are in that generation coming up. And I think that they're a reflection of us. And I think anyone in their 20s and early, even coming into their 30s is going to be the hope for us. I think they have the generational, they're the ones who are going to be working more. They're the ones I can count on more. It's them people in their mid 30s right now, going into 40s. They're hard. It's hard, man, because not all of them, but man, the big percent, it's hard.
Yeah.
Parents did a little more gifting to that 30-year-old age group right now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Coddling maybe.
Yeah.
Or something, but I don't understand it. I don't have to understand it. All I know is that the new age of people now, the mid 20s, early 20s, those people that are coming in are the hope. I think they're the ones that are grinding and getting it. But enough of them.
Right.
Enough of them. Who cares? Right now, let's talk about this. I want to talk about your future. I mean, you guys are known at the beach. You have a lot going on, which means you have a lot of interest in the beach, which means you have heartfelt. You want the right things to happen in the beach. So when you're in a position like that, no matter where you live, what do you see happening? Because it reflects on everywhere. It's all the
I
same.
don't know if I can talk about this.
Well, then don't talk about the politics of the beach. I'm talking about what we just said, the kids, direction. Where do you think it's going to happen to Virginia Beach as a scene, as a life, as a
I think we
community?
have one of the most beautiful beaches on the East Coast. I think it's very underdeveloped, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of ugly buildings and stuff that's unkept. Our oceanfront looks.
I feel the same. I think that
Cheaper.
our trapped
Yeah.
our trapped in the 80s mentality as far as holding everyone accountable to run. I feel that if it was just easy for me to snap my fingers, I would have an outline of everything on how it's supposed to kind of agree and have something have a format of how you're supposed to carry your business and conduct it to make a proper looking city.
If you don't know what color to paint your building white and black.
Yeah.
Make it simple.
Right.
Keep
We
it simple.
look like a Crayola crayon box.
Yeah, but that's 70. That's at 90s.
It's still
or
that
80s.
old beach town.
Yeah.
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 Like
It's
Just
bad.
painting something just neutral, I think, would class up the Atlantic Avenue.
Right. Not the aqua colored wall with the purple trim. What the fuck?
Like 42 colors.
Yeah, it's not good. So I understand what you're saying there, where you're going with that. It is like that.
But my passion would be for we need local people to start reinvesting in their properties and reinvesting in operating businesses.
And stop just soaking off the tourists that come through and hope they get another round of tourists. It's almost like they're just waiting for another round of tourists and hoping they come. Well, eventually they're not going to come, fuckers, because you keep making it look like shit. That's what she's saying.
So there's that.
Tighten up.
There's that.
Goddamn vodka.
There's that.
well, I mean, what are the growing pains that you foresee in the next couple of years? Like, I mean, that they're really going to have to overcome.
I think it's expensive to maintain buildings and expensive to repair. And it's really hard to find people in the trades to work. So I think there's that. I think our city in general is difficult to work with having permits issued in an efficient manner, which then costs more. You have delays. It's just a bunch of bureaucratic crap.
Well, and you've had to build out several spaces. So you also have the event space now. You have the tasting room. I mean, you've built out different spaces.
My husband and I, when we were like together on this particular piece of property, have been battling the city for a couple years. They've been battling us. They literally, I can't explain to you. You would think that because there's so much property ownership between him and so much personal investment in the community and having your family business and family be there he's the third generation, that
decades.
You would get a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
No.
And plus,
really
you got to
Why are you fighting somebody that wants to do good.
And you got to take in all those generations of taxes that were brought in, employees that were paid, careers that were fulfilled, all that stuff. And it's hard when you get that good old boy network behind everything. It's hard to break and penetrate that sometimes.
Oh, I'm ready for the good old boy network to come back, because what we have right now is
Well, they are there. It's just not your good old boys.
Well, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I'm like, where?
They're just someone else's good old boys.
What
We
year?
just need to be efficient, and I think we as a city lack efficiency.
Yeah. Well, I think that's most. I mean, that's most cities. But what year did Waterman's open? What was the?
81.
Okay. So yeah, you've been a staple down there for that many years, and to see successful businesses.
To that,
Yeah.
my husband's family owned the building and the land prior to that.
So it's for those that have the most to gain, also have the most to lose, and they also have the most to say. So that's kind of where it is. And then you have everyone underneath or everyone below it that don't really pay attention to it. So you can never get ahead because there's not enough numbers to come ahead with you. But all we can keep doing is producing and providing everyone who looks up to us for what we do.
Try to lead by an example. I want the properties landscaped beautifully. I want everything done beautifully and tastefully where other people, men and women, feel comfortable. And I think the best thing is to be welcoming in your city. And once everybody does that, then we can have a much better place where it's happy.
It's
Sure.
it's just
Joyful,
more comfortable to be there. But yeah, I'm excited that CrushFest is back too, and I'm excited. And this is one story I have to share because just to attest to your work ethic. So there's certain people who work hard every day, no matter what. It was when we did our podcast release, you were there, sponsored cocktails for it, which was amazing. And we were trying to put up the banner in the back. And this bitch is in like a skirt and heels. And she just like throws her shoes off, jumps on the ground, starts putting things together. Like didn't even have to ask.
Yeah, took charge.
And those are the people you want to work with. And I've seen you operate in your and you're back. You're doing everything.
There's nothing that I won't do.
Yeah.
And-
How can you ask somebody else to do it if you won't do
Exactly. I hear you. Or haven't done it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
here's the thing I want to know. With that attitude is why it's kind of leading into my next thing here. You're jumping into the vodka industry, the spirits. Let's say vodka. It is if you really want to think about it, it is a complete risk because it's such a diluted industry. Just like me jumping into the pasta sauce game, right? It's a risk we take because we really believe in our product and we believe that we're going to put in the work it takes, so on and so forth. Do you find yourself challenging some of these bigger vodka companies that have so much money? I mean, you're online on par with Tito's and all this other stuff. They have the time behind them, the national press, the public, the money. Do you find yourself trying to but they didn't at first. They had what you had. So are you finding it hard to penetrate that thing, or is it coming natural or what?
I'm finding it hard to be okay with the little pieces of success. Like where I think I'm going to have a personal problem is not appreciating the small wins that ultimately lead to bigger wins.
Right. And then we all do that, sure.
Is it ever enough?
For
You know what I mean?
probably not.
I don't know. So I wrestle with that.
Yeah.
Same thing with us when we're doing our podcast. So if we put a lot of time, our team is right here. You can't see him on camera. We all put a lot of time and energy and effort into this, every piece of this production. And you can see here, there's a lot of stuff going on back there.
A lot of stuff.
And if we sat there every day, wait a minute, I sit there every day and look at these friggin' numbers and the stats and the likes and the subscribes, you can't help but do it. And even though you got some decent numbers that week, like you said, that ain't shit. We need more. And it seems like no matter what we do, there's never going to be, unless somebody just said, hey, did you see the thing today? There's 1 million subscribers all of a sudden.
And
then like, holy shit.
We made it.
And
we'll never make it.
But then we'll be looking at like, oh, how come it just won't hit 1 million in one?
Yeah.
Why can't I get that extra one? Now you're fiending.
Yeah.
So it's hard
drug.
for people like us. And I think that's what keeps us going, is like you said. So that's great answers, is that it's really hard to grab small wins. It's hard to go. And now you want the next big one.
My mom wrote me a little note the other day. She goes, I've been by the house a few times to see you, but you haven't been here. She goes, you need to appreciate what you've worked for. You need to slow down, like just giving the mom love.
Everyone says that and it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
No.
But you're also a mom.
Yes.
Like you have to balance the kids, the sports, the school, the trips, the businesses, the husband. Like you have to balance it all. And yeah, you're not going to be home much.
Magic happens.
Yeah, you got
we do make
That's a
magic
good attitude.
happen. Yeah.
So, and it's what we all have to do. And it's an honor having you here. We really appreciate you. It's been hard to lock her down because you're so busy. And they're all legitimate businesses. I know you. And when you say I can't be here because I have to go to a trade show,
yeah,
I
you're
know
still
you had
pounding
a
the
fucking
pavement
trade
for this
you know what I mean?
product.
You're
Oh
doing
my gosh,
Yeah.
pounding the pavement
Yeah.
hard. I was just
Pound Town.
Yes, it's fun. Exactly. I just came up with a cocktail yesterday called the Porch Pounder.
Oh yes, nice.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, that's
a good
going to be
one.
good.
It's good.
Okay, I need to.
Yes,
All right,
it's
that'll
an
be
old-
funny.
it's
Yep.
like,
Okay.
good
Okay.
So we have wines. I have certain rosés and stuff. I call the patio pounders because they're out in the patio. Yeah. So
Not
that's great.
balcony, not
Yeah.
balcony, but porch.
Well, we're gonna have.
We're a little classier.
Yeah. Keep your skirt up. Keep your skirt up, girls. So anyway, listen.
Where it all goes downhill.
Let's do one thing. Let's do one
Okay.
thing. I want you to sit down with me, Nikki. Let's get Nikki over here with a review. Let's do a quick review.
Oh, okay.
We do a
yeah,
review? We
let me
have
do
time or
this
no?
one. Yeah, we have time. We have like 5
Let's
minutes.
do a quick
so.
review. We're asking if we have time.
Fine,
We have
count
time.
up.
It's free social media. Let's do it.
So we'll pick one that's kind of more generic food wise because you probably dealt with this with the ingredients in your restaurant too.
So I'm going to tear apart a review.
So
Now, just for
these are reviews online that are 1 star for Tony.
So what I do is just for all those who don't know, I go online, I look at all the reviews all the time. There are some what some people would call bad reviews that actually have some substance to them that we can learn from. Those are actually put into the good review file because if we can learn from them and gain from them and fix the problem and there was a solution, that's very important. Just as important as a great review, right?
Yeah.
So a bad review for me, when I shit on them, is just an outlandish review that they can go fuck themselves. It's just like, you know what, dude, I don't know who hurt you or touched you on your butt when you walked through the door.
Oh my God.
I don't know who
All
touched
right.
you, but that's what we're going to talk about now. So
Okay.
go ahead and read one, Chris. I don't know what it is. Let's see
when
it.
you go ham.
When I go ham, yeah.
love it.
Because
So-
they deserve it.
All right. Well, there's 2 that I really like, so this is really hard. Do we want to do a takeout order on pizza, or do we want to do someone who visited from Chicago and didn't get a seat for 20 minutes?
Let's do the pizza one. Oh,
Oh,
flip
we're
a
at a
coin.
contention point. Let's do both, but we'll do them quick. How
Do 'em
about
quick,
that?
go.
Because we haven't
Yep.
done these in a
'Cause you're
bit.
gonna
So,
hear
okay, this one's short, so we're just going to comment on this because you deal with takeout and fresh ingredients all the time. So this is a
Perfect.
good one. 1 star, Tyrone here in Chesapeake.
1 star.
All right.
Gotta call Tyrone now.
I ordered takeout from Luce Friday night. I must say the inside decor was absolutely beautiful! Exclamation marks.
It is.
When
Thank
I
you,
initially
Tyrone.
walked in, it made me want to dine in. Everyone was enjoying themselves. The ambiance was wonderful.
Got 'em.
Then we go downhill. I was directed to the bar to retrieve my order. I ordered the margarita pizza, which was not pizza, so we'll clarify on that in a second. I have never been so disappointed. It tasted like cardboard, to be honest, like it was fresh out of a box. The crust was super hard, not your typical crunch. The mozzarella was fake. Every bite, the whole mozzarella would slide off the pizza. No flavor whatsoever. Actually, they put once-soever, so they need to, spell check. I also ordered a slice of chocolate cake, which seemed to come out of a box. Horrible experience. I'll try to dine in to change my opinion, but as of now, not impressed. So let's just talk about the to-go thing when you're ordering, especially that. Well, it's not pizza.
Right, so it's a pinza. So it's a Roman pinza, which is a hard crust. It's almost like it's a pre-baked dough. This is how they do it in Rome. It's a pre-baked dough. Your toppings go back on it again, and then it goes in for a second round. Let everything melt. Unlike a conventional pizza, where the whole thing goes in raw, cooks up together. Okay, so it is a crustier, almost like an artisan or artisanal bread crust, and it's absolutely
Not even
delicious. Definitely, 100%, a million times over. Not something you take to go. You need to eat it as it comes out right away. Of course, fresh mozzarella is going to get hardened again. It melts out and then it becomes tight again because it's fresh, it's real. So if you do bite it, it's not like regular shredded fake cheese that just stretches. It's all crazy after 20 minutes. It's just the way it is. Tyrone, when you come here to eat, my ingredients, what we do here is white tablecloth. As you walked in
100%
and looked
fresh.
around the whole place, you should have read the whole room and realize that when you're paying for these type of ingredients that we spend all this money getting here,
Yeah.
we don't do it with the intentions of putting it in a fucking box.
To
okay,
take out, yeah.
that's a
It's not really a takeout
coffin,
restaurant.
and we don't want to do it. And I don't even like the fact that sometimes you can get to-go food here because I really don't. But some people will take it and they just won't write a bad review on it because they understand that it's not going to be the quality they
I do
got.
it all the time.
So I'm not going to call Tyrone.
Okay.
I'm not.
Don't call
and,
Tyrone.
And I think that what you should do, Tyrone, is maybe you should come here and try it again.
Actually,
but
sit
I don't know if
down.
that's going to help unless you
it.
talk to me. Let me cook for you. Let me show you what it is we're really about, and let me make that same exact pincer the way it's supposed to be made right here. Eat it when it's supposed to be eaten.
It's a challenge.
And let's have that fun. That's a challenge, Tyrone. You better call them.
Okay.
And enjoy your dirty martini made
And
with
get your-
Waterman Spirit.
Right.
Waterman Spirits.
Right here. Okay, next one.
All right, so this is a 2-star. So we moved up a
Oh,
little
okay,
bit.
2.
Okay, so this is a 2-star, not
This
a
is a
1-star.
sophisticated one star.
This is James. This is at Luce, Norfolk. So, all right, I'm torn with this review, but I needed to share.
Oh, yeah, James.
We love when it
It's
starts
tough out
that way.
here. It's tough out here, James.
It's tough in these streets. All right, when we were there last weekend visiting from Chicago, my wife and I didn't have a reservation, but got a seat after a 20-minute wait. Not sure if not having a reservation made the host upset, but we were met with a super aggressive attitude, blatant condescension, eye rolling. It was bad. I'm not sensitive, so we just assumed they'd had a tough day, give people the benefit of the doubt and not take it personally. After we're seated, the same rude host was our server, or our server was great. But when the host took the menus, we had more negative energy, and they slammed our menus into the corner on the floor so loud that other patrons asked why they were throwing a tantrum. I was honestly worried they were going to do something to our food. We would have left, but I was hungry. Luckily, the food and the other staff were wonderful, but we should never feel like that in a place like this. I saw their feedback and reviews from the owner about how they run a tight ship. Just wish they held their employees to the same standard. Again, the food was amazing. Patrons shouldn't come to feel that way when they go out to eat. I recommend the food, but not the ambiance. So,
Okay, so let me tell you.
why would you leave 2? Okay,
This review is from my Norfolk location, and this right here, just for the review people out there, this is one of those borderline ones. This is borderline. This could have some validity to it, to where it could sneak into the good category. So this is good that you brought this one up, because she did,
like
or he
on
did. Sorry, he did mention the food was good, everything was good except for the server. This is where it goes wrong for me.
Not even
The
a
host.
server, just the one.
Well, at this
person.
time during the week, the host
usually
sometimes
have-
is a server. It's a very, very small place.
It's like 20. I mean, it's not a big
There's
place.
Week to 2 week reservations out at all times. You're luckily got in on a walk-in. Somebody either canceled or they just happened to be lucky if you got in 20 minutes. Now, forever my staff member was at that time had a problem or a stick up their ass, I would have instantly fired them on the fucking scene, on the spot, right then and there. It wouldn't have been a problem if they were slamming down menus, if the whole restaurant was bad, if everyone saw them rolling their eyes at you. That is a complete, I believe there's a little bit of drama involved, but it's not unrealistic. It's not unrealistic. So I'm actually going to reread this. I'm going to reread this on my personal time now again.
Go back.
And go back and check it out. But here's the problem. Which was his name? I'm sorry.
James.
Next time you have an issue like this, reach out to the restaurant management or the owner. You can go online. You can find them online. You can go to their websites. They always have forums where you can find them. And actually drop a concerning message here so we can deal with it instead of giving us a 2-star review, because every other day with every other staff member, we're typically right on the money and we do hold it accountable. But putting a 2-star review on there takes away from the other 6 or 7 to 14 5-star reviews that the staff got. So as a collective, the staff probably did their good job. And by putting a 2-star review on there, you're taking away from their hard work and efforts. I can easily handle that one person. You can easily fuck up everyone else by having a stupid 2-star review. So call the management, call the owner. They would love to hear from you. This is a borderline decent to good review. I'm not going to say this is all that bad.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, James, you did all right. It could be
one that
fixed.
could be rectified or could have been rectified in the thing.
You had valid problems there. You didn't tear the whole place down. You didn't say the food sucked because you had a bad
said it was amazing.
reaction. You said the person
It was one person.
sucked. There's only a few I can pick from, so I'm going to go bring this review back and do my work.
Like, who was
James,
this?
The cameras.
if you got someone fired today, James, here's to you.
Cheers,
I hope they don't have
Cheers,
kids.
You just ruined Christmas, James.
Yep,
It's
Christmas is
but
coming early this
Christmas
year,
is
buddy.
canceled. Sorry.
James, you and me are
You
taking
just
this to the
lost of a
hole.
job.
All right. Hey, listen, Waterman Vodka, Spirits, amazing. Check them out, the beach. Where can we find you? Location and online.
712 Atlantic Avenue, Oceanfront Road at Virginia Beach, and watermanspirits.com.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And all the ABC stores.
Yes.
They're in all the
absolutely.
stores. You can get it there. You can join me there for $6 Martini Monday on occasion. I've been known to be up there a few times.
Yeah. And high-end vodkas infused with real,
Organic.
natural, organic ingredients. It's not a joke. Don't take it as a joke. Okay?
Support local women-owned businesses.
Correct.
That's what I'm gonna say.
All right. And support this podcast by hitting subscribe and like and sharing it with your friends.
And thanks to Mariah for sponsoring the podcast now.
Ciao for now.
She's like, what did I just pay for? Ciao.